begin with this sloka. Tavakathamritam tapta jivanam kabibhiriritam kalmashapaham sravanamangalam srimadatatam bhubi grinanti e bhurida janaha. So we were reading the last visit to Keshav, that was the chapter. Here in the conversation, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna contributing a great knowledge in the Vedanta movement. That we will come and we find over here in the page 320, he is mentioning the primordial power and the supreme Brahman are identical. You can never think of the one without the other. They are like the gem and its brilliance. Giving the example, one cannot think of the brilliance without the gem, or of the gem without its brilliance. Again, it is like the snake and its wriggling motion. One cannot think of the wriggling motion without the snake, or of the snake without its wriggling motion. So this is the example, so simple. Statement is one sentence only, examples are two, but that clarifies the whole thing about the creation, about the creator, about the material about which they were asking in our Rig Veda. They were asking, the students, they were asking, out of which this universe were built. Everything has been completely answered. Different philosophy expressing this fact in different ways. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is a very famous Upanishad on the basis of which so many other philosophies have been written, and most of the monks, they will obviously read the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. This Upanishad is like a huge forest. So Brihadaranyaka. What is said in one line, tad srishtva tadeva anupravishat. Tad srishtva, tad means this universe. Srishtva, after creating, tadeva, into that, anupravishat. He entered into that. Who? The consciousness, whom the Hindus have given the name, Vedantins they call as Brahman. The Brahman, the consciousness, entered into the creation. He created, he entered into that as if. Otherwise, we cannot explain how this inert being, the human body, can have the consciousness. We can feel, we can express, we can do so many things. How it is possible? The last Sunday, when we were reading the materialistic philosophy of the Charvakas or the Lokayata Darshan, there they said, when different things are coming together, the four, they mentioned the four things, Shiti, Apa, Teja and Vayu, not Maruta. So when the four things are combined, something, because of their mixture, something is coming up, and that is consciousness. And they give the example in the palm leaf, the betel leaf, and that betel, and the what's called the lime. They usually use the three together and they chew. Each individual items are not having the red color, But when you mix three and chew, a reddish, the color is coming. There's a mixture because of that. Similarly, that is their argument. But Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says it is not possible. Consciousness is completely different thing, cannot come out of the inert thing. From unconscious thing, consciousness can never come. So it says, when that inert thing that was created, this universe was created, into that entered the consciousness. Tad srishtva tadeva anupravishat. After creation, Brahman entered into it. And here again the Yoga Vasishta, they explain in a different way. Yoga Vasishta completely is a very high Advaita philosophy. Sri Ramakrishna used to read this. And Sri Ramakrishna used to ask Narendranath, the young Vivekananda, to study that also, but he used to refuse at that time. He said, telling me as God, that is blasphemy. One should not read this type of book. Then to inspire him, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, you need not to read. You only read out for me. I want to listen. When a person is reading, automatically he is also getting some idea. That Narendranath became a great Vedantin. And this, they say, Yoga Vasishta explain, what is creation? There's nothing. Your mind is creating. And when there will be no mind, there is no creation. So simply they say, Chitta nashe na samsara. Chitta nashe, when your mind, which is having all the impressions of this universe, of this world, of the human being, of the animals, of all these varieties of creation, whenever you are looking at that, you are creating. And suppose that mind is absent, it is not there, there is no creation. So they gave in simple, Chitta nashe na samsara. When mind is absent, world is also nil, world is also absent. And then they give the example, Kumbha nashe na kumbhasan. Kumbha means the pitcher, the earthen pitcher. When that earthen pitcher is not there, then naturally there is no earthen pitcher. When it was there, it was there. When it breaks, kumbha nashe, when it breaks, so no, nothing is there. So it is just like that. You are creating, and when creating with your mind, what your imagination, when your mind is not there, there is no creation. Yoga Vasishta is telling. Again, Yoga Vasishta goes one step ahead and says, Samastyam kalpana matram idam vishwam. This universe is nothing but the imagination. Samastam, everything. Kalpana matram, imagination. What? Idam, this. Vishwam, this universe. Now if you say like that, how many people will be able to understand? And if we say like that, how many people will be able to make their life, daily life, almost impossible? That is the beauty of Sri Ramakrishna, his contribution to this particular philosophical debate, confusion. Even now, so many people will be telling that this world is completely illusory. It is true, but to whom? That is the question. What about then the ordinary people who cannot imagine that, who cannot dream that this is an imagination? For them, Sri Ramakrishna is giving the reply, and that is a wonderful way he is mentioning. He who is Brahman is the Adya Shakti. In the 321 page of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, he said, he who is Brahman is the Adya Shakti. Here, the whole problem is solved. Adya Shakti. And what is this Adya Shakti? Primal energy. Adi, so primal. Shakti is the energy. Adya Shakti, the primal energy. When inactive, it is called Brahman. This is all Sri Ramakrishna's own realization. And in a beautiful way he said, when inactive, it is called Brahman, the Purusha. These are the words he is not creating. It is already there in the Upanishad, in the Veda. The Purusha, the Brahman. When inactive, he is called Brahman, the Purusha. He is called Shakti or Prakriti. The same thing is called Shakti or Prakriti when engaged in creation, preservation, destruction. Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya. These are the three work that usually they do. When it is done, and who is doing it is called Prakriti. It is called Adya Shakti, the primal energy. But what is this primal energy? He is telling this, Purusha and Prakriti. He who is Purusha is also Prakriti. Both are the embodiment of bliss. This solves the whole problem. So people are confused when you say this world is completely absent. And all the philosophies, after reaching over there, the philosophers or the realized souls, after reaching over that, they say it is not there, it is all our creation, that's true. But what about the ordinary people? So Sri Ramakrishna is the God of the modern age. He understood that these people, they won't understand it. It is impossible for them. So for them, he is telling this world is also made of God, completely God, created by God, out of his own he created. And that is why afterwards, his disciple Swami Vivekananda, he introduced so forcefully the Karma Yoga. The Karma Yoga that we find in the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and also explaining in the 4th chapter, and again in the 18th chapter, it says again and again, so much of stress has been given by the Lord Krishna on the Karma Yoga because it is the Prakriti, it is the nature. We can never stop that. But if we utilize it properly, that energy or that nature for the benefit of spiritual upliftment, same work, everything can give us the guidance. And why we can do that? Imagination? No. Realization. What is the realization? Whatever we are serving, whomever we are serving is nothing but living gods. And from this point of view, after this realization, Sri Ramakrishna said, if you can see God after closing eyes, can't you see God with open eyes? Beautiful, so wonderful. And Swami Vivekananda, in a very poetic way, he is telling the moving tabernacles, the moving temples, the Taj Mahal of all creation, human being. And my special object of worship is the poor, the downtrodden, the illiterate, the oppressed. Very strong words, revolutionary statements. The people don't allow some people into the temple. And they think they are spiritual, they are religious, they forget. This is the truth. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is mentioning like this. And again, we find over here that most difficult philosophical question, who is the creator and what is the creation, is solved. On the same page, Sri Ramakrishna declared why humans special in the creation. That again we read from here. Why human is so special. In the page 321 he says, after the realization of God, he is seen in all beings. What is the symbol? What is the taste? What is the proof that one has realized God? This is the After the realization of God, he, the one who has realized that God, is seen in all being. He sees God in all being. The moment we say, that is not God and this is not holy, that is should not come, know it for sure, he has not realized God. He may claim, he may show the certificates, but this is the ultimate first. But his greater manifestation is in man. Again, among men, God manifests himself more clearly in those devotees who are Shwatik. See how he is giving so simple explanation, so wonderful way. First is after the God realization, one is supposed to see God in every being, because that is the realization. That is the truth. God is not just an image or a light or a sound or something very peculiar. No, nothing like that. It is the consciousness that is present in every being. That knowledge is absent this moment. After the realization of God, we see every being the same thing. And that is there. Ma Sharadamani Devi, the concert of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, said, don't find fault with others. Why? Because everything is nothing but the God. The moment you are hurting someone, criticizing someone, you are hurting the God, insulting God. So he says in that way, and among all the creation, men are the best. Among men, God manifests himself more clearly in those devotees who are Shwatik. And that is the reason those who are really very high in spiritual level, they become Shwatik. What type of Shwatik? 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita speaks about the qualities of the Shattva. In many other places are there, but many, it has said, the main thing is he is not attached at all. That is the quality of a Shattva. Not attached with anything, with these worldly things. Attached only with God and nothing else. That is Shattva Guna. And when he is constantly or she is constantly thinking of God, attached with God, and not caring about this world, what happens? He never feels jealousy. He never feels angry. That is the Sattva Guna. I am not explaining that Sattva Guna right this moment, but in the 18th chapter it has been explained. Among the men, God manifests himself more clearly in those devotees who are Shakti, in those who have no desire whatever. That is called Shwata. Where can a man of Samadhi rest his mind after coming down from the plane of Samadhi? Now Sri Ramakrishna giving a hint, and he will explain it in clearly why he used to love Rakhal, Naren, all this. There should not be any question. People should not misunderstand. But some of the people, they already did. It is the Shwata, those whose mind is already in the Samadhi. When he comes down, and for the case of Sri Ramakrishna, it was so natural, just like breathing. He used to go to Samadhi, and next moment he comes down, behaves like the ordinary man, again he goes to Samadhi. It was just like that. And now naturally we can understand, for him, he wanted to keep his mind on those. Now someone who is a poet, so obviously he wants to have the company of the other poets. Those do not understand poetry, do not like this poetry, never heard about any poets or read any poems. If that poet goes to talk to them, he will feel bored after some time. And like that, many other professional people, if they find the same type of people, they can easily discuss about that. Otherwise, it is difficult. So, a man of samadhi who is after the samadhi coming down, for him this world has nothing. How he will keep his mind? On the sattva. So he said, why this sattva? Means they are also not attached to this world. They have developed that quality. Where can a man of samadhi rest his mind after coming down from the plane of samadhi? That is why he feels the need of seeking the company of the pure-hearted devotees, endowed with the sattva and free from the attachment. How else could such a person occupy himself in the relative plane of the consciousness? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, those who have read the Bible, And Sri Ramakrishna came to see that Keshav. But after entering into the room, we are reading that he never inquired about the health of the Keshav. Who is the doctor? What are the medicines? How you are improving? What are the problems? Nothing like that. They were talking only about God. Master Mahashaya has given the subtitle of this chapter as Last Visit to Keshav. What do you mean by last visit to Keshav? Keshav will pass away after these. And Sri Ramakrishna, the God himself on this earth, is helping his greatest devotee, though he didn't follow his own teachings. But as because the man was true to his religion, to his belief, to his faith, and he was practicing religion sincerely, the God has come to help him to make things understand, and he is telling this is the whole thing, the creator, the Brahman. Because why he is telling Brahman? Because the Brahma Samajis, they used to believe in Brahman only. And the Brahman with qualities, of course. And Sri Ramakrishna is talking about that Brahman. Immediately he introduced the primal energy, Adyashakti, and then he narrated the image of God is Kali. That Kali is nothing but the same. Understanding that this man, Keshav Chandra Sen, one of the founders of the Brahma Samaj, a famous leader of the Brahma Samaj, and who actually spreaded this message of Brahma Samaj, is yes, sir, it is quite true. While talking Sri Ramakrishna, he never asked this. People were wondering, they never asked a single exchange, a single word about the health. Sri Ramakrishna to Keshav. Why do the members of the Brahma Samaj dwell on so much on God's glories? Now again he is giving them slowly the right track. Is there any great need to repeat of such thing? O God, thou hast created the moon, the sun, and the stars. Most people are filled with admiration for the garden only. How few care to see its owner. Who is greater, the garden or its owner? So that is Sri Ramakrishna, and he is, shall I tell you the truth? Now he is telling Keshav. Because they all the time, at the time of prayer, oh God, you have given us the daily bread. They, I think, were influenced by the Christian prayers, and from there they took those things. You have given us the daily bread, you have created this, you have created that, only to think that he is a great person. It is not necessary. When the faith is there, the God is the creator, he is my father, he is my mother. Why all the time you have to tell like that? You know within yourself, who is my mother, who is my father, who is God. So that is what Sri Ramakrishna, no doubt about it, and no distance from God. Shall I tell you the truth? Man loves his own riches, and so he thinks that God also loves that too. Why they are explaining so many things? Because they love their own riches. And that is why they are also thinking in that way. I was seeing some of the pictures, it came, someone forwarded, that is a wonderful building with 100,000 crore. The building was constructed by a person. Now he is abducting from India. He was a so rich man. And his building, and some of the pictures they have given, they wanted to sell State Bank of India, so they were selling, and nobody could give so much of the cost. Someone has purchased recently. As usual, to sell, they were giving the pictures. My God, so beautiful house. From the bedroom, you can see directly the sea, as if it is on the sea and all that. It's okay. For some time, and suppose you are all alone inside that room, do you think that you will enjoy that nature? No. After a few days, you will be bored with that. Same beautiful nature, but you need some company. You need other things also. That is the speciality of the human being. The only a beautiful place and some food cannot satisfy. They need also the mental peace, happiness, joy, the intellectual understanding and growth. So all these things, this shows again and again so futility of this world. And Sri Ramakrishna is telling, shall I tell you the truth? Man loves his own riches, and so he thinks that God also loves that. He thinks that God will be pleased if we glorify his riches. Once Shambhu said to me, Shambhu Babu, he was a very rich man, a landlord. Sri Ramakrishna is to like him. Shambhu Babu is asking Sri Ramakrishna, and what was his prayer? Please bless me that I may die leaving my riches at the lotus feet of God. So that was his prayer. And Sri Ramakrishna answered, these are riches only to you. What riches can you offer to God? To him these are mere dust and straw. And this is called spirituality. Understanding the truth and then proceeding towards the truth. Once a thief broke into the temple of Vishnu and robbed the image of its jewels. Mathur Babu, the landlord of the Dakshineshwar, and I went to the temple to see what was the matter. Addressing the image, Mathur said bitterly, what a shame, Lord! You are so worthless. The thief took all the jewelries from your body and you couldn't do a thing about it. Thereupon I said to Mathur, shame on you. How improper your words are. To God, the jewels you talk so much about are only lumps of clay. Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, is his consort. Do you mean to say that he should spend sleepless nights because a thief has taken your few rupees? You must not say such things. Can you ever bring God under control through wealth? He can be tamed only through love. What does he want? Certainly not wealth. He wants from his devotees love, devotion, feeling, discrimination, and renunciation. And here we find almost the same thing. Shankaracharya, in his famous book Vivek Chudamani, the sloka number 82, he says, Mokshasya kangsha yadi vaitavasti tyajati durat vishayan visham yatha piyushavat tosha daya shama arjava prashanti danti bhajanittam adarat. If you have the desire to get liberation, mokshasya kangsha, kangsha means desire, mokshasya liberation, yadi vaitavasti, if you are having, then tyaja ati durat, you must give away all these from the worldly object and practice compassion, forgiveness, simplicity, arjavam, and peace. This shanti, prashanti. So these are the good qualities if we can develop, and that is called a spiritual person. The spirituality is nothing but accumulating, imbibing, practicing some wonderful qualities like this. And all these qualities come only when one can understand the futility of this world, the very, very temporary nature of this world. nothing remains. One of the great writer, Shibnath, and he wrote in the first day of the new year, usually people they celebrate, then he has written, why you are enjoying this new year, it is only for 1 year. The new year will remain only 1 year. The next again after 365 days, again another year will come. So that is true. We always think the new year, but it's only 1 year. So that is the way we have to understand. It's called discrimination and vairagya, viveka, vairagya. And again in the Bhagavad Gita, that famous sloka that we all know, the God himself, the Sri Krishna himself is telling, I don't care about the wealth or the wonderful food that your different dishes you are preparing. I only want your devotion, your love, your concern for me. And in a beautiful way he expressed in that 9th chapter of the 26th sloka. He said, Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam. Patram means the leaf, Pushpam the flower, Phalam the fruit, Toyam the water. Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam, Yo me bhakta prayachati, tad aham bhakta upahritam ashnami prayatatmana. Whoever makes an offering to me with devotion, that is important. With devotion, be it of leaf, flower, fruit or water, I accept it with joy. So I have told you before that when we go, sometimes as a young people, we don't understand, when you go to perform the relief work, when the natural calamity, some problem, then the Ramakrishna Mission, Bharat Seva Sangha, they always go, and many other organizations, they go and then serve these affected people. A group of young people, almost in the beginning of the Ramakrishna Mission, they all went and distributed some blankets, clothing to the suffering people, came back and they were reporting to the first General Secretary, Swami Saradananda ji, and Swamiji, we have given these, we have given these, we have given this. He was asking, what you have given? And naturally he was confused. No, again and again I am telling you the list, what are the things we have given. Then he explained that those things came from some other people. Some rich people, they donated. And you have carried those and delivered it to some other people who are poor. Rich people gave and poor people got. You only carried. So what is your contribution? Like just as a carrier, as a post office, somebody entrusted the post office to carry that and then they delivered like that. Then he said, you must give the devotion with that. The living gods who are suffering over there, they are our living gods. They don't need anything. I have got the opportunity to serve. With great devotion you are giving. That is your contribution. And that is swatik contribution. That is the way one should do. Sometimes some people they suggest that we can also do some, here in America mostly they do some cooking and they give it to some organizations are there and then they will distribute. And cooking and distributing and all that, we are not directly going, and sometimes people they go directly, whatever. But what is the main idea? Oh, they are suffering, so we should give. Government is taking care. All other things are also there. As a spiritual aspirant, what is your idea? That is the question. As a spiritual aspirant, if you even give only $1, but give with devotion, that helps you to develop the spirituality. We find over here the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and he is explaining then all this, and he is telling that can one ever bring God under control through wealth? No. One looks on God exactly according to one's own inner feelings. Now he explains. See, this is the beauty of the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. All our questions are answered. Some people, they say, why they sacrifice the goats before the goddess Kali? This is very, very bad system. And Rabindranath Tagore has written a drama over that. So this is a continuously people, they will be criticizing, oh, this is so bad, so bad. Sri Ramakrishna is giving this complete idea, he is explaining. One looks on God exactly according to one's own inner feeling. Take for instance, a devotee with an excess of tamas. We know tama, sattva, raja. These are the three qualities. Excess of tamas, he thinks that the Divine Mother eats goat. So he slaughters one for her, because he loves to eat that meat. And Sri Ramakrishna in one place is telling, one person is to offer the goat every year before the goddess Kali, the puja. Now suddenly he stopped. And the people around, the villagers, they used to come and get the prasad, so they used to enjoy that. Now they started asking, sir, what happened? Why you are not offering the goat? Have you changed to the Vaishnavas? And not, was no. I don't have teeth nowadays, so that I don't offer. That means he wanted to eat, so he was offering the goat. So this is the answer, because you can never stop it unless and until that person develops his own mind, the spirituality. For him it is very much true that I am offering to God and God is eating, I am also eating, because tamasic nature of that person. Then he said, again the devotee endowed with rajas, he cooks rice and various other dishes for the mother. If you go to some of the rich family, you will find 75 different items offered to the mother. And they will be boasting, we always offer 75 different items, and never repeated, all new items, all new dishes. So that is the rajas. But the swatik devotee doesn't make any outer show of his worship. People don't even know he is worshipping. If he has no flowers, he worships God with mere Ganga water and the leaves. His food offering to the deity consists of sweetened puffed rice or a few candies. Occasionally, he cooks a little rice pudding for the deity. It is only the devotion and nothing else. Whatever you eat, whatever it may be, if we are offering it with great devotion. Sometimes when they are offering, they show so many things, signs. Yahagacha, yatishta, yasannidai. Like this, they will be this with the fingers, they will be showing all this gesture. If you can't do that, you cannot offer food to God. Who said? And sometimes some people will be telling, particularly the Hindus, if something happened, somebody has passed away in the family or new birth, at least for 1 year or something like that, they won't offer food to God. Why? No, this someone has. Why? These people used to ask me, can we do the worship or offer food? And have you stopped eating? If you have not stopped eating, why can't you offer food to God? He is our own. When I can eat, how he will live? You will find that in every night they are putting some clothing on Sri Ramakrishna. Why? In the night it will be cold, so he needs that covering, though it is a picture. And we are offering the fruits and we are offering the incense sticks. Though it is a Vedanta society, a little bit of that, but idea is we don't think this as an ordinary picture, we think as a living consciousness in the name of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. So friends, thank you very much for today's evening. And this is the Panchama Veda. This is the all knowledge. It has passed through higher and higher stages of knowledge in a so simple language. Sometimes people, they are very fond of reading very steep and difficult type of scriptures. And sometimes they won't be able to understand that. Even then they will read. What is my purpose? Only to read those books? To become a scholar? Okay, that is all right. But to become a spiritual aspirant and to realize God, why should I waste time in reading all those things? If I can have time, okay. If the teachers are there, listen. But the main purpose is to transform my nature from the tamas, from the sattva, from the rajas to the sattva. Swami Vivekananda said, you were animals. Now you have become human being. Try to be God. It's a complete satya, and that is realization of God, and God in every being as consciousness. And He is not only above somewhere, He is in everywhere, in every being, because the same God has created this universe like me, everyone. So that is the teaching of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and after the realization of God, he is telling us this thing. Let us offer our pranam and conclude. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa Dita Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namama. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.